Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. We are your hosts, Vidas Pinkevičius
and Aušra Pinkevičienė.
We've been mastering secrets of organ playing for more than 20 years and sharing them on this blog since 2011.
On this show, which we create from our home in Vilnius, Lithuania, we strive to help you grow in every area of organ playing, including practice, technique, repertoire, sight reading, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, harmony, and many others.
Our hope is to help you become a complete musician, or what we call as total organist, a program which we have created to help you reach your dreams faster than you would do on your own.
If you are new here, we invite you to subscribe to receive free updates of this blog at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
And now let's go to the podcast for today. Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Aušra.
Let's start episode 387 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. And this question was sent by Lukasz. He writes, Hi, I suggest you a new subject with a pinch of salt. Organ playing as a fitness. Yesterday evening I spent more than 1 hour with the Bach trio sonatas. When I finished, I was completely wet. Maybe you could make a list of pieces that not only builds the skills, but also takes care of the physical form of the organist. At the beginning of the list of pieces that make me wet, I'll put, of course, Bach trio sonatas. What you will add to this list, what your friends from all over the world will add to it. I'm very curious to know what your experiences are in this matter. Lukasz. So, do you think, Aušra, that playing trio sonatas by Bach is a good fitness?
Well, I'm astonished at this question actually. Because, if after playing trio sonatas for 1 hour you are all wet, it means that you are doing something really, really wrong in your practice. It shouldn't be like that. Because trio sonatas are such an elegant pieces. I agree that they are hard to play because of the coordination between hands and legs. But it's very graceful music in itself. So you shouldn't be wet after playing them.
Maybe the level of Lukasz, for example, isn't yet suitable for trio sonatas, and therefore it's very demanding.
Well, I cannot judge or decide about that because I haven't heard him playing. But in general, I don't think that any organ composition will make you, to sweat like that. It's not normal thing. I think you need to check up on your health state because it means that something is really wrong with your body.
What about, let's say, Duruflé toccata?
Well, I haven't played Duruflé toccatas, but I played some difficult pieces by Max Reger, for example.
Max Reger, yeah, good example.
Or other pieces by Maurice Duruflé. But I have never been, wet after playing even entire recital, unless it's very hot and humid in the room. But it doesn't, it's not related with playing.
What if the instrument itself makes it hard to play, like depressing the keys?
Still, have you ever been wet in St. John's Church?
No, but I'm used to it. Maybe other people could.
Well, but do you think it's normal to be wet after playing trio sonata?
Maybe, I'm just trying to guess, maybe Maybe there is something in the music itself that makes people sweat.
Well, but when it's related not with, physical,
Yeah.
not with body, physical things, but more with a mental issues.
Yeah. For example, your body is very efficiently moving, at least should be moving. Remember how contemporaries of Bach would describe his movements, that the instrument would play him itself and he just barely moves his hand and feet.
That's how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the movements at the organ needs to be as little as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing, I got the impression that, Lukasz thinks that after practicing organ, you don't need to exercise because organ does it for you. Practicing organ will replace gym. And that's a very wrong assumption.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
Otherwise, we would all be athletes.
Sure, yes. Sure. But doesn't matter how many hours you practice on the organ, it will not replace, the real exercise.
Movement of body.
So besides that, you really need to find some physical activities to do. Because yes, it would be wonderful, if you would just practice organ and that's it, and you wouldn't need, to do any other exercises or
pull-ups
or whatever
or
you
push-ups or whatever. Yes, whatever works. Mm-hmm.
But well, I don't think it's a good feeling that you feel on the organ as being at the gym.
But some energy is required when you play.
Of course, it requires a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that it requires more mental energy than physical energy.
And this is evident from the fact that when you, for example, or me, return to the organ bench after illness or after being sick for a couple of weeks, then it's kind of requires a few days to get used to this activity, right? It's difficult. It's physically probably also difficult.
Sure, but when you are sick and not feeling well, then any kind of activities will give you a lot of pain and struggle. Like now I had this sinus infection really bad and had to treat myself with antibiotics. So even eating lunch was a challenge for me, because sometimes I would be so wet that I would have to change my clothes twice during my lunch.
I would love to do a list of top 10 organ pieces to improve your biceps. Or top 10 organ pieces to improve your abs, to have six-pack abs. but it wouldn't be fair.
But what I could tell you, and I think it's true, if you have good muscles on your body, yes, especially in the abdominal area, it will really ease in you playing pieces like trio sonatas.
Top 10 pieces that will make your yoga practice seem like a kindergarten. That would be fun.
Well, but I think for different people, different pieces present different challenges. For example, for me, it was really never hard to play trio sonatas, and I'm telling this not because I want to show off, yes, not because I want to show off, but because it's really easy for me to control three single voices. They can be very hard, but still only three of them, and it's pretty easy for me to control them. But in the thick textures where I need to stretch my arm a lot, I struggle very hard. And for example, for me, it's much easier to play, let's say, do refle than to play Max Reger. because some of his textures are just almost impossible for my hands to play and to reach.
What about Peter Eben's Laudes?
Well, still it was much easier than I expected when I played it.
What about
Of course, that rhythm, gives trouble. You really need to learn how to count, but as soon as you really force yourself to count, then everything is just fine. Because still, Eben played organ himself. He knew what to write and what fits the organ. So he didn't write something impossible to play.
fits the hands?
Yes, it fits the hand pretty nicely, actually.
I see. You know what we could do is to give top 10 organ music for listeners' fitness. Organ plays and listeners jump around and run around the church in the meter of 3/4 or 4/4.
Well, and for example, if I would like to torture myself, I would probably have to pick up and play a big cycle of Olivier Messiaen, especially of his lead cycles. And then I would think I would not even be wet, but I would probably even cry.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well...
You would sleep like a baby.
Yes, and people often say that if you don't like somebody, some compositions or some composer, you probably don't know anything about, in depth about his style or, his ideas. And with the Messiaen is that I really know his style very well because I analyzed it so many times in a great detail about all his compositional techniques and his philosophy. And sometimes I like to listen to his music, but it's such a challenge to play because of his very, very slow tempo. You need to be really patient. And with those, rhythmic values, added.
Added rhythmic values, yeah.
It's just horrible. Try to count, yourself.
It's called additive rhythms, yes?
Yes.
Thanks, guys. We hope this was useful to you. Please remember to exercise not only your mind but your body besides playing the organ, because in general it's a sitting activity, and sitting activity is not very healthy for your body.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And please send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.
This blog is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online, where you will find courses for every area of organ playing, including technique, practice, sight reading, repertoire playing, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory and harmony, with hundreds of scores and thousands of exercises. Here is what some of the students are saying.
Hugh writes, "The sight reading course has helped me tremendously. Thank you very much for your SS courses and all your help."
Robert writes, "I found the fingerings, registration ideas and general comments to be excellent."
John writes, "I have found your download very helpful. It was really excellent. I have watched some of your teaching videos and when I read your instructions, I tried to imagine you are there teaching me. You may feel disappointed that I am 2-3 days behind, but I am a slow learner, and I have committed to taking the time to get it right, as you say. But the other night my wife commented that she had never heard me play such a detailed melody in the left hand so well. My left hand is generally poor."
Robert writes, "It has been a great pleasure in my life of having discovered your courses and material as well as the YouTube work of recordings. You have a calm and pleasant way of teaching."
Ron writes, "Hi Vidas and Ausra, thank you guys. What a wonderful response to my email note to you. You've got me right, and I feel you understand my level of playing. Yes, at home and that I have an organ for that reason. I am paying attention to this, and I am going to try this haha no longer secret model. Yes, and I love Cesar Frank too. What is very nice about your blog podcast is that Ausra and Vidas are like a Socratic dialogue, and by bouncing things off of each other, so much more information comes out and is expressed. Your comments contain a wealth of information and understanding. I really appreciate this. It is very inspiring and will keep us moving forward.
Would you like to receive the same or even better results that our students are getting? If so, join them at organduo.lt/total-organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to receive free updates of this blog, make sure you do that at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video, how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
This was Vidas.
And Ausra from Secrets of Organ Playing.
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.